So Fox News is weighing in on what's happening with the economy, and they're going to let the mask slip here again. They're going to let the mask slip here again with just how anti-worker and anti-regular person they are. Take a look.
Business owners disagreeing with President Biden and say those extra federal jobless benefits are indeed keeping a lot of folks from taking work. That's why more and more states are ending the benefits, including Montana. And the Republican senator from that state joins me now. Steve Daines is also co-sponsoring a bill to stop the extended benefits across the country. Senator, good to see you. There are 18 states now that have joined Montana. I believe they're all Republican. Is this coming down to a partisan divide?
Well, sadly, it is. It really should be more about common sense. David, the bottom line is this. The government is paying more money for people to stay home than to go to work. And people take a look at the benefits, they make a logical conclusion, and they stay home. This is a labor crisis, not a job crisis. My wife and I were in my pickup here last week. Drove by a small business in Montana, and there were balloons everywhere around the business. It looked like a car sale, but they weren't selling cars. They had tents set up. I thought it was a promotion. They're trying to sell something. It was a hiring fair. They're trying to find people.
It's amazing.
So anytime you're paying about $17 an hour is the current benefit with the state plus this generous federal benefit, it's about $17 an hour to stay home. And I'm thankful for these Republican governors like Greg Gianforte in Montana. He led the way 10 days ago. He said we're going to do two things. We're going to stop this additional $300 a week federal unemployment benefit, plus we're going to pay a $1,200 hiring bonus if you go back to work. Because he knows, he's a business guy, that people need paychecks, not government checks. Here's what happened. We have a small business in Montana that just told me a couple days ago that prior to Governor Gianforte's announcement, they were seeing about one application a week for all these open positions. After he made the pronouncement, they got 60 applications.
Wow. Well, that's great, although it's kind of weird that you have to pay people to come to work. It just shows you how distorted the whole economy has become.
That last line says it all. The host says, it's kind of weird. You have to pay people to come to work. Shows how distorted the entire economy has become. I've never seen a better admission that working for a wage is kind of similar to chattel slavery, right? I mean, you heard what he said. It's weird. You have to pay people to come to work. Wasn't it better when we could pay them really shitty and they'd effectively be forced to come to work? Or else, you're threatening them with living in poverty forever? It's weird you have to pay people to come to work. So there's a lot of things to say about this. They start the segment by saying business owners are disagreeing with Biden, and they're saying unemployment benefits are keeping people from working. It says a lot that the demographic that Fox News cares about the most is business owners. Doesn't it? It says a lot. Not the workers. Business owners are saying X, Y, and Z. Then you have a Republican who's on TV bragging, Senator Steve Daines. He's proposing a bill to cut unemployment benefits. And he's on TV bragging about this. Like, well, I'm doing such a great job. I'm on top of it. I'm looking out for the American people. I want to cut the amount of money that they get. You're not supposed to brag about this. This is a wide open lane for the Democrats. You should be hammering the Republicans over this because they're bragging about giving people less money. And what's happening here is they're admitting they want to force people into a miserable job that they don't want to be at. That's the admission. That's what they're giving away. I mean, they may as well have it in a bright, flashing light. I want to force you into a miserable job that you don't want to be at. So what's happening is this. Yes, some people are finally getting a taste of financial freedom. There were the trial runs, the studies in universal basic income. And people were given $500 a month. This was in Stockton, California. And the results were overwhelming that the money always went to the things that it's responsible for them to go to. So it went for food, it went to pay the light bill, it went to things that are necessities. It was less than 5% of the money went to went to alcohol or gambling or things like that, entertainment. So in those programs, what we learn is, turns out poor people just need a little bit of money, and then they make the right decisions. And also we found that some people took that money, were able to get a day off of work, and then find a new, better job. They weren't able to take a day off of work. They couldn't afford taking a day off of work to try to find a new and better job. But with that $500 extra a month, that's what happened. That's what they did. So that's what we learned about universal basic income. And what's happening here is people are getting a taste of financial freedom, and they're reevaluating life decisions. And so it's not like everybody's sitting at home on the couch just being lazy and that's the end of the conversation. No, the people who are getting this money are now able to take a little bit of time to determine, what do I really want to do? How do I spend my time? What kind of a job do I want? And how would I go about getting such a job? So on and so forth. So people are finally getting a taste of financial freedom so they can make their own decisions. This is nothing but an increase in freedom. And Fox News and Republican politicians hate it. They hate it. Well, listen, there's a very easy way to change that scenario. Raise wages. Pay people more to get to work. And then they'll get to work. You have to incentivize them going to work. They don't want to do that. They want to punish people. That's what they want to do. Cut their unemployment benefits, threaten them with poverty, do that again, because that was working so well before. So in other words, they liked the system where people were forced into a miserable job that they don't want to be at. They like that system. They prefer that system. They're trying to get back to that system. Well, no, that's not the way forward. First of all, it's a good thing that all these people got this money. It's a fantastic thing. I want them to get that money. But beyond that, if you want to try to get people back to work, either have the businesses raise their wages or you subsidize them. So, you incentivize it in a different way. Either the private businesses can incentivize it on their own by raising wages, or the government can come up with some sort of program where they do have a hiring bonus or whatever it is for people, or they do subsidize wages or something like that. But that's the answer. The answer is not just cut the unemployment benefits, screw people, take away that taste of financial freedom, force them back into a miserable job that they don't want to be at. That's not the answer. But again, I find this admission really wild, that they're just saying it out loud. By the way, what you're saying appeals to nobody. It appeals to nobody. You're telling people, I want you to be miserable and at a job you don't want to be at. You're telling people you want to take away their financial freedom. You literally said, it's weird, you have to pay people to come to work. Wasn't it better when you could pay them less than a living wage and force them? That's effectively what they're saying. So if the Democrats can't run against this, they're more than useless, because this is the Republicans handing the Democrats an election. Because the Democrats are saying, we like it when regular people get money, and the Republicans are like, we fucking hate that. If you let the we fucking hate that people beat you, I have no words for you.